focus on portfolios and projects. So pull up. That's going to be a good opportunity for you to see how to showcase your work. Because in the space of data is, it's an application based field. That's why y'all be building stuff in these sessions so that you can show proof of application. So July, we have any portfolio and projects. I also put the link to schedule a consult. If you need me, if you don't, whatever, cool. And also I put my LinkedIn. Hey Shakita Banana. I put my LinkedIn there as well. So y'all can connect with me too. I think I'm probably connected with everybody, but I don't be knowing. So yeah. And if you all want to throw your LinkedIn's in the chat to connect with each other, let's say you are in healthcare, government, throw your LinkedIn out there because these are good opportunities for you all to engage and network with each other. You never know who you might meet in these sessions. Iron sharpens iron. And I know y'all, everybody probably can't get on the camera, but if y'all can, please, because this be awkward as hell, just talking quietly and it's just weird sometimes. But hey, Monica. So Brittany, oh, I see Brittany LinkedIn. I was like, what's Brittany post in the chat? Okay, cool. So tonight, hey Sabrina, you made it.
Yes, I did. It took me a while. I was clicking everywhere.
Yes, yes. Hey London. Oh, London, I can tell your camera on, but it's like probably got the bar over there or something. Like you got the little camera skeleton looking thing. But anyway, I was telling everybody if y'all trickle in, if you would like to throw your LinkedIn in the chat, these are a good opportunity for you all to connect with people that are learning alongside you. People always think that networking is these huge jumps. So you got to go to these networking events or you have to do this, that, and the third. When in reality, I get a lot of value, or I have gotten a lot of value throughout my career with networking with people that are right alongside me. Who have you worked with? What have you done? What have you learned this skill with? Pull up on them. You never know where that person might end up. You never know what expertise that person might have that might fit in a gap. You never know in a year after you get your data skills, you start consulting your skills out and somebody might have, some a skill set that you need or whatever the case is. So I always tell everybody throw their LinkedIn in the chat. And if you see people in your industry or think common things come about, or even if they're not in your industry, just connect with them. So let's go. So the objective of tonight is LinkedIn and resumes. And I am not recording, and I'm about to record because there there are some things in here, especially regarding LinkedIn, where you gonna have to go back and do your profile, and it takes a long, like a while to do it. So give yourself some grace, especially if LinkedIn is fairly new to you, because it's a whole lane. So I'm gonna record this and just kind of go back and rebuild your profile as you go. So let's go. Let's start first point of action with our individualized transition plan. Um, so everyone here has either gotten their individualized transition plan or they are already complete and already have all of their data and things from those individualized transition plan. Let me pull up one as an example. Whoever first on this list getting pulled up. Okay, Sabrina, you first, but I see you just used populate or you just got yours yesterday. I'm gonna go to Mukhtar because he's up there. So let me
I just started.
uh-huh, you just got yours.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me share Mukhtar's. You are an example. I told you Paige was bragging on you. I said, yeah, he is. So this is Mukhtar. So a little background about him. He is actually in the oil industry. So a lot of his work that's captured here is going to align. Okay, y'all can see this perfect. A lot of his work here is going to align with oil and engineering. So the goal of these individualized transition plans is to capture your value. Because in these spaces, when these roles are hired, they are posted because there is a gap somewhere. There is a gap in efficiency. There is a gap in processes. They're not hiring like these companies when they post these roles. They're not hiring just to do it because first of all, hiring expensive, and if you are HR, you already know what I'm talking about. It's time consuming. If you sit on interview panels, y'all already know the game. So the biggest part of these individualized transition plan is for me to get inventory on who you are, what you've been doing, and not only who you are and what you've been doing, but extract as much value as I can from your actual work. Because in these spaces, like I said, they're hiring, they have a problem. It's a problem, and you are positioned to solve it. So where I coach you all from is to get out of the mindset of like task based. Okay, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. Because in reality, if your resume or if your professional profile screams task, 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 what I need you for? What do I need you for? If I can come through and list out a bunch of tasks, there are a lot of different people that can fulfill those tasks. So the way that I coach and position you all is the value. What was the outcome of your work? Who did it impact? What money did it save? Because that's all these companies care about: money, time, efficiency. Did it improve time? Did it make a process more efficient? Did you lead a team? Who was the consumer of this? What decisions were made? Those are the type of things that we are working collaboratively together to try to extract from you. So we started out with Mukhtar. Mukhtar is in engineering, chemical engineering, petroleum engineering, oil. That's his lane. So he starts out with the ability to list out what he is actually doing. We come through and we separate it into our work that is already data, extract the value from that. What Mukhtar is on the phase was he's building out his resume now. So what he's doing now is he's populating everything that we have already completed right into his resume template, because this is going to tell his story. He started out with I collect this, I do that. But now it ends with the range, the value, who used it, what did it ensure? Because we're able to tell his full professional story with that collaborative work with us going back and forth. And I'm not gonna lie, this very first step is always the hardest part for a lot of people. And if you've done yours, you already know what I'm talking about. The reason being is because we just be doing the work. Like we just do the work and we're not aware of what we're actually touching, who we're actually using. We're doing the work. So I try to do this for myself personally, like every quarter. I did mine just yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago. This week for sure. I just completed mine for Q2. And the reason being is because every quarter you touching something, you don't want to be trying to come back in hindsight and catch up on what you've already been doing, and it just makes it hard to dump it out. And then worst case scenario, but y'all know how the economy of things is. Something happened with your role, the contract end, people moving weird at work. This is no longer a good fit for you. This is no longer good for your mental health, etc., etc. And you got to pivot. At least if you do this work on a quarterly basis, monthly basis, you're not trying to catch up from behind. You already got your stuff together because you know it takes time to even navigate in this space. So that's the benefit of getting everything out of like your head, basically, and on paper or on Excel sheets. So this is how he's gonna build out his LinkedIn and his resume. He got his stuff all together. But in that, it tells his value, because I can take this and I can position him as a solution. Because, like I said, if I got that job, I got a problem. If I'm gonna pay somebody 80K, 90K, whatever the role is, I have a problem. I'm not doing it for someone to just come in and, okay, Larita, can you do A? Can you do B? Can you do C? It ain't gonna work like that. So therefore, with this, we had the ability to position him and move him accordingly. And it allows us to extract every last one of his skills he got. Every last software that he touches and anything that he does, we're able to extract all this and put it on his resume and in his LinkedIn. Any questions about the individualized transition plan? Okay. So from that individualized transition plan, I mentioned the ability to build out your resume. So Mukhtar in specifically is in his resume building phase. That is where he is. So he is in the middle of taking out all his stuff that he has created, and he pushing it out there on his resume. That's what he's doing right now. Probably his LinkedIn too. So what you see on the screen now, and to give you a little context, everything that I do on my laptop be like black. So this is a regular Word document. On anybody else's laptop, it'll probably show up as white. But my stuff be dark because like I look at my screen all day and like my eyes be strained and I ain't got time. But this is a resume that I wanted to show as an example. Now, when you're looking at this resume, does this look like a decent or a good resume to you, or does it not? And if so, why or why not? Oh, hey, Kira.
Um, so the first thing I noticed is it may appear to look nice to us, but it's not going to pass the ALS system
What's up? Why not?
because the designs are going to throw off the format,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not going to be able to actually read what's going through the machine. It's not a human, so it's like it's going to be all jumbled up,
Facts.
and it's going to kind of automatically decline.
That's a fact. And like she said, on the surface, this might look good. I done seen resumes. As a matter of fact, this low key embarrassing. But I used to have my picture on my resume. I used to have my picture on my resume probably about 2019. Like, girl, what are you doing? I used to have my picture on my resume. I used to have these little bars, like it used to have my little skill stack and the graphs. I used to have all that. And what prompted me to change that is I was impacted by a layoff in 2023. And a part of our severance package was a career coach. And most people were like, I honestly, and even at me in the beginning, I was just like, girl, I don't want to do that. Like, just give me my severance and I'm about to go on. But I was like, you know what? Let me see what she's talking about. So in the career coach consultations, we met up once a week. She was actually really good at what she did. We met up once a week and she got like what I had been doing at my current company. Basically, like she helped me get visibility into preparing yourself with your career. And she told me, about the whole ATS system. Me, like most people, even at the time, was like, oh, girl, okay. But I see the importance of it now. So these I've seen bars and things, like Akira was saying, that ATS system is not going to be able to pick up on it. First of all, because of the two like sections. And that ATS system is gonna read left to right, left to right, left to right. So it's essentially gonna like jumble up all this stuff together. And like Akira was saying, it's gonna automatically spit that out because it doesn't even know you. It can't read your story, it can't read your skills, it can't read any of those things. So that is the importance of having their resume that is ATS compliant because at least we're gonna get through the system. Like at least we're not gonna get auto rejected. In a way to indicate if you possibly are getting auto rejected, you put up a resume and you getting rejected like instantly. It might be time to look at your resume, but the resume I give y'all is ATS compliant. So if you use that format, you're good. But I wanted to use this as an opportunity to show what an ATS, what a non ATS compliant looks like. It might look good with the graphics or the pictures or anything like that, but their system don't care nothing about that. You save all that for your portfolio, which we'll talk about in July. Also, I use my resume for that example, but any questions about this? Okay. Now, let's go into the ATS compliant resume. And I actually share mine as an example because, like, it's here. Um, but also, oh, here you go. But also, this is a template that I provide you all as well. And the reason being is because, like, it's pretty simple. Like, you're going to get your stuff across. But this is the example of an ATS compliant resume. You have your name, you might have a technical or leadership summary, and this technical and leadership summary here is actually derived from like the work that we do in your individualized transition plan. That's one of the things that we build out. Another thing that I want to showcase that within the space of data or tech, that value or that weight is on them skills. Skills. Like, I cannot stress that enough. I know we have people that are coming from other industries where there might be more value placed on like words like collaborative or not even customer focus or teamwork or whatever those soft skills are. It don't really hold a lot of weight in the space of data. In the space of data, they be wanting to know your tech skills. So I always make sure to put your tech skills up at the top of their resume, and not only just your tech skills, but your software that you're touching, which is why we do that individualized transition plan, because all of your skills and software is not just going to be data. You have domain knowledge. You might be in healthcare, you might be in government, you might be in education or marketing, and they have their own particular softwares as well. So that very heavy weight is going to be put on your skills. As a matter of fact, when you do the research regarding skill based hiring is an entire thing. And what that means is the ability for companies placing value on skills and application of those skills along with their formalized degree. And that's why I always say that, yes, get your degree, continue to work towards that, continue to do those. I got them. But also, if you claim you learned them tech skills, be able to apply them skills as well, because that is the gap. The ability to be able to apply those skills. So, in the space of data or tech skills, and as you navigate this space, it comes to an opportunity to where you can take your skills with you. Like I tell people all the time, I've been in data for 13 years. I'm going to stay in data. I might go in healthcare, I might go in somewhere else, but I'm going to stay in data. Why? Because my skills ain't going to do nothing but continuously compound. So put those skills at the top and lead with those skills, because those skills are what's going to get you past like that gate. Them skills going to get you past the gate, but those soft skills, communication, problem solving, critical thinking, those are soft skills and they very much so needed. But that's what you showcase in the interview. That's when it's time for that. On that resume, tech skills or software, period. If you got leadership experience, anything like that, cool. But up at the top of your resume, we gotta have them tech skills. And why? Because what Akira was just saying a minute ago with that ATS, we want to showcase you as a strong candidate for having these particular skills. So I always do my skills at the top, list out, of course, like your professional experience. If you want to, I do give like a little visibility to like the company itself. And why? Because everybody has not heard of every company, and it also signals that this is your background, this is your domain, this is what I got experience in. So I do like a little snippet. I don't take too much space with like the company, but I do, and pretty much use the work that you're doing with your individualized transition plan to populate your resume. And always position yourself as a solution, because when you're getting to the money, when you're getting to those type of roles, they looking for somebody to solve them problems. Of course, nobody is looking for someone to come in with the ability to answer every single thing, do every single thing, X, Y, and Z. but they looking for a solution based a leader or somebody that can solve them problems. So with the individualized transition plan, we have the ability to position you as a, I don't know why this bold, as a solution. So this is the good thing as well. Also, with y'all doing your projects in Power BI, y'all create a dashboard. In Excel, y'all create an Excel analysis. In SQL, you have like your weekly coding challenges. You have all of those things that you can leverage and should leverage as a project or a portfolio. And I ain't even finna get too deep into projects and portfolios because we talk about that next month. But it's some work. Yes. Oh, Akira, I'm just saying your email. Text me, you email me. Akira, I can't see that email. I'm gonna hit you up. It is essential. Akira said projects are essential. They are. And there is probably some work that you're doing now that you can leverage as a project because the gap is, or the goal is, proof of application. I have people all the time. They ask me, do they get certificates? Do they get this? Do they get that? And I'm like, yeah, you do. But a certificate is not going to put you in the door. Your proof of application is going to put you in that door. Okay, Kira, I will. Your proof of application with those projects is going to put you in that door. And so I'll always, that's why I have a whole session that's focused primarily on projects. But in the resume, mimic or not mimic, but reference some projects that you have done to show, yes, like in my case, yes, I am a senior data engineer. I have migrated data. I build pipelines. I do all these APIs, all this stuff over and over and over again. I can do it in my sleep. But these are specific examples of where I have leveraged these skills. And when we get in them interviews, I can speak to that because it's my work. I did that. And I also want to frame y'all the same way because when you get in these interviews, you did that. Let's get your stuff together so you know how to talk to that and you know how to communicate that project. Because sometimes I've had people, which is, I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but which is why I don't just tell y'all what to put on y'all resumes. I'm not doing it. First of all, it's unethical. Second of all, if I just tell you what to put on your resume and you get in them interviews, you're going to be sweating. You're going to have a panic attack. I've had people, my right hand to God, go through my resume line by line and ask me stuff. My right, and I be like, okay, what's up? I don't do that because I know what their interview process can look like. I know what their interview process look like. I've been on interview panels where I've had teammates sift through people's resume line by line and ask them stuff. I've seen it. So what I'm gonna set you up like that for? I'm not, because you're gonna have PTSD and your head gonna be shaking and you're gonna be crying. So that's why I don't do that. But Akira said, yes, yes, they will. Literally line by line and be like, so tell me about this time you architected a 450 point T-SQL validation framework. If I didn't do that, I would be like, so that's why we do that the way we do. Akira said having projects and portfolios will set you apart from every other candidate. It will. Because what's done happened out here and what has messed it up for everybody is that in the age of COVID, if you was on this call, you was alive during COVID, you already know what went on. In the age of COVID, everybody and their mama got in the space of data, everybody and their mama got in the space of tech. People were being weird with interviewing, people were doing all type of things. And it has gotten to the point now where you might have to do a technical assessment. You might have to talk through some concepts live. You might have to do those things to sift through the have and the have nots. And also it separates people, and which is why I'm big on like proof of application as opposed to like just memorizing syntax. Because misconception is that people were told that, like, if I just get this certificate, if I just do this, if I just do that, these recruiters gonna come, and that is not how it works. That's not how it works. So having those projects and portfolios and the ability to be able to talk through those concepts, that's literally gold. And I talk about, I'm not trying to get too far projects and portfolios, but it is my lane because I love to talk about it. But it's no different that if you are, if you planning a wedding or planning this big milestone birthday, and you have the idea of, okay, you know what, I got my cake, I need a photographer. You're not going to hire a photographer and you ain't never seen their work. You're not doing it. Your portfolio and your project serves that same purpose. Yes, you said you know SQL, but what you do though? What data did you analyze? Yeah, you said you know Power BI, but what you built though? You said you know Excel, but what was your data analysis? What problem did you solve with it? So that's why that project and portfolio part is like key. Any questions about that? And this resume.
Lori? Yeah, I got a quick question real quick.
Oh, you can go. I'm drinking my water.
Oh, okay, sorry. So going back to the roles, like let's say on this page where you, yeah, like with Icon PLC,
Yeah.
where you were a senior analytics engineer.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what's the difference between the like first paragraph and like the bullet points?
Okay. I had so much experience. And that's a good question. Did you have any other questions for answer that one?
No, just that one.
Yours is gonna look like this as well when we get through with it. You're at the phase now to where you taking every single thing that we have completed in your task tracker and you populating it under the appropriate role. But what it's gonna look like is essentially like a summary of your work and then some key points. Because what happened was I had so much work there that if I listed out 8 to 10 bullet points, ain't nobody gonna read that. So when we get done with yours, that is how yours is gonna look too. It's going to be a summary of who you are and what you did, and maybe like 2 or 3 bullet points. And the goal is for us to continue to communicate your value and not eliminate anything, but also be realistic in like who's gonna read it and how they gonna leverage it.
Okay, so that's just because I was trying to figure out what was going on, but
Yep.
thank you.
Yep. When we start cleaning up your actual resume, like right now you're in that population phase to where it's like, all right, I got this bullet, 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 bullet. And that's the first point. But like when we start formatting yours and work it together, we're gonna share. Oh, you already got your Google Sheet. We're gonna like go back and forth and consolidated, but continue to keep your value as well. I don't want to eliminate any value that you have, any work that that you've done, any impact that you have contributed to, but I also want to maintain their readability as well.
No problem. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Okay. Akira, I'm about to check the email so I can see Akira's as an example. Okay, so this is Akira. So a little bit about Akira is I can't open it. Well, I can, but it's like trying. I use your LinkedIn, Akira, because I can't. It won't open up. It keep opening up to my email. I use your LinkedIn. But a little bit about Akira. Akira took SQL. Akira had a background in healthcare. She was cleaning data in Excel. Um, she has always worked contracts. Now step in if I'm lying, Akira. Akira has always worked contracts. She was working, she got a contract right after she completed SQL. She did that one for a few months. That contract ended abruptly, like she wasn't even expecting it. She took a little higher sabbatical, got her life together. Took a sabbatical, got her life together, came back, and we strategized probably about 3 months ago. Me and Akira start back reconnecting to be like real strategic and how she about to re-enter the workforce because she had some life changes. So took a break and wanted to be strategic and how she was going to re-enter the workforce. And in that re-entering, we did these same sort of concepts too. Take inventory of who you are, what you've been doing, et cetera, et cetera. And Akira just got another contract for a major hotel corporation during their day to work. So I said all that to say is that that's when I say that like your skills are what you're gonna take with you. That's your job security, your skills. That is your job security, the ability to be able to be like, I can't control the market, I can't control the lane, I can't control the domain. But I don't know if y'all seen that little meme with Denzel Washington where he like, but I'm leaving here with some. Like, leave with some. So that's the gap, and I think that she was a perfect example of someone that completed sequel. She got her role. Like, I think we was still doing sequel when she ended up getting that first contract role and came to work and they were like, bye, you out of there. They threw it out like Will Smith. I'm sorry. You threw it out like Will Smith. Then
No, they did.
yeah.
And it took a major my confidence. I had just built my confidence back up. I can share I had a baby. So I was already kind of feeling like, oh my God. So I felt really good. And yes, I'm a contract girl. I don't need the full time.
Yeah.
They do eat. I'm a contract girl. And I also learned how to stack contracts from yours truly, Miss Larita. But okay, back to what I was saying. I wasn't expecting to take confidence. It just knocked me all the way back down. Because I know that I was taking it personal.
Yep.
Because I knew it kind of was personal. But, I I just tried to gather myself. But I knew I wanted to go back when I was ready because I'm like, hey, you got to have tough skin doing this stuff because once you know how to market yourself, like I had to study my resume. I had to study my tracker. I'm still updating my tracker. Like I had to study myself. I would make index cards and I would use like YouTube and things like that to TikTok and stuff to look at interviews, what kind of questions they ask. It's not the same typical interview questions. Like I had to study and I had experience in the field, but I didn't know how to position myself. And with this recent contract, I didn't know. I freaked out and I was like, Larita, help me, help me.
She did.
Like, no, you help you. You help you. You have the tools that you need. You don't need me. But I was like, I don't know. What am I doing? But really, actually, this is kind of off topic, but I was nervous in the interview and they were asking me kind of like questions that I had never studied or known, like just personally how I would handle things. And that was the first interview where I didn't know whether they actually wanted me or not. And I was just like, okay, well, I did my best. I marketed myself honestly. You have to be honest. Because at any point they'll be like, okay, well, pull up people and how would you formulate this and how would you do that? And they will do that.
They will.
So if you don't have, if you're new, if you're fluent but you're new and you're willing to grow, then say that.
Yep.
Don't try to get on there and think you can chat GPT your way into that. It may help you study and learn SQL and things like that, of course, to check your work, but it can't help you pass an interview.
Yep.
If you go and chat GPT your resume and you can't back it up, and if you go and chat GPT a portfolio and you can't explain it.
Yeah. That's a fact. Thank you, Kira.
Yeah, that's your reputation.
It is. It is. And I think that like it's unfortunate that things have like low key been sold like that. And I'm like, y'all, no, you got to be able to stand on your 2 feet in them interviews, especially if you look a certain way. You gonna get drilled. And that's just the reality of it. It's not okay, well, no, at least have some sort of ability to show proof of application. That was amazing, Akira. And it's the truth. Like I said, and I think another point that you like hinted, or not even hinted to, but it's a framework. Like I take this, I land this role, I gather these skills and these duties or these tasks or this value from this role, and I'm finna take it to the next one. Like it's a progression. And every time you go into something, you have to look at it with the bird's eye view of, all right, how can I use this? If Lord forbid this rug snatch up under me, because my rug got snatched up under me in 2023. Baby, I had just got off a call with my manager and I go outside and I'm getting a weird team check. Like, who is this? So ever since then, it's like if that rug gets snatched from under you, how quickly are you able to pack your stuff up and pivot into the next? What you got in your toolbox? If the only thing you got in your toolbox, or the only way you can communicate your value is inside your company, inside your organization, inside your team, it's hard to bag out of there because you're trying to dig out, as opposed to you digging out in the beginning. And if push come to shove, you already had one step ahead to where you just positioning yourself, like Akira said at that point. And she did call me in Akira. I was like, let's go then. Let's go. Go eat your food and drink your water, and we gonna get this together. So
But
yeah.
one more thing, just quickly.
Mhm.
The I'll just share the question that they asked that really I was so focused on trying to sell myself and market myself, and then I realized that they just wanted to see the type of personality that I had, if I was willing to let them teach me their way of doing things because I had such strong, framework from previously. They wanted to know, was I teachable? Was I coachable? So they asked me like, well, hey, if you had two deadlines at the same time, how would you handle that? If you already had a deadline from a meeting and then the manager came and asked you to, hey, I need this right now. And I was just like, oh my God, this is a trick question. But I was honest and I gave them my answer and I just went with it. But the main thing is to be confident. And then I realized afterwards that I had that stuff that they was looking for. So Larita taught me to ask for what I want. So I asked for a few more dollars and I got it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say it's not.
Did it again. Got a few more dollars. Because you have to think about it. Like these companies, like she said, they have a problem that they need. And when they find someone that can, you can tell if you have a solution to what they're looking for. And also ask questions. Ask questions. Don't just sit there and let them tell you. Ask questions about the type of position because this is going to add to your resume. This is going to add to your experience. Is it even in line with what you're trying to do? You know. So in this space, you don't have to just accept anything. You don't have to just accept the pay. Negotiate. Ask like, hey, what contracts? What's the budget for this?
Yes, contracts eat. My most money I ever made was contracts. Contracts eat, but with these skills, you can do that because with these skills, you're able to take them and use them. They belong to you. You remember when you were little, your parents, but they can't take your education. It's the same with your it's the same with them skills. Yeah. Like that's your value, and that's why I always say in the space of data, there are no stopping points. Like you're never gonna get to the point where it's like, okay, I'm done. I know everything. Heck, nah, because when you get to that point, you are going to be faced with something else that's going to stretch you out even more. And with that ability to stretch, it's more value, more money. And like Akira said, you stay dropping them gems. Like Akira said, those interviews are a two-way street. That is a mutually beneficial partnership for the both of you all. You have a valuable skill set. Everyone does not know data. Everyone does not know that. You have a valuable skill set. So therefore, I'm providing my skills to you. In turn, you're going to make some money. Your company is going to make some money based off the skills that I provided to you. So it has to be a mutually beneficial partnership for both of them. It is tech and data is not a space of like, it's not a space of like, I don't like the culture is very like almost rich. Like it's not cut and dry. Yeah. Like it's a space of like, um, yeah,
chosen ones.
Yeah, it's
Because a
value.
lot of people don't want to clean data. They look at it, they look at a code, and they're like, "What is this? Oh my God, it's in Chinese," but you know how to do it.
Yep.
So,
Yep. That's a fact. Everybody don't know how to do it. And like Akira said, once you get in them interviews, you have to be able to talk the talk. And like I tell people all the time, your skills, this resume, it'll get you the interview, but what's gonna get you the offer is that communication, their thought process, how you explain it, how you convey it. That's the difference right there. So yeah, thank you, Kira.
no problem. You know, I'm always here because I've been learning. I've been learning just like y'all, like everybody else, and I'm here to say like it's actually like I'm gonna come to every class every time. Doesn't matter how many times I've done it because I'm actual proof that everything she's saying is real. It's very effective. It helped me. My confidence was really low at first, and like as I'm learning, making my footprint in this field, it's really a good thing. Like it really is a good thing to be in. And your confidence not gonna be super high at first. If you do it, market yourself. It's almost like being a entrepreneur, like because it's like it's you, you're marketing yourself to these companies, which is why I like contracts because like it's just the flexibility. A contract can last. It just depends.
Mm-hmm. It just depends.
And if you do good, they'll extend it. They ask for some more money.
Yeah.
So it's based upon your performance. It's based on what they need.
I was going to say, yes, based on the company. Like, they can be, like, for example, I started out, I had contract. I started out with my contract was 6 months. So they was like, all right, this is the recruiter. This is why I go so hard about LinkedIn because the recruiter reached out to me. Well, I've gotten several contracts off LinkedIn, but the recruiter reached out on LinkedIn. We had this contract. It was for the senior engineer role. I'm like, got the interview, got it. The initial contract was initially supposed to be 6 months. It kept expanding. So like every month they would expand it out to the point where it was like, all right, we finna convert. How do you feel about converting full time? I converted to full time, but it has the ability based on like the company, what they need, what they looking for, and it's a lot of different like companies that would depend on like essentially what their company needs. You got 3 month contracts, you got 6 month contracts, you got 12 month contracts, you got all types of stuff, and the hourly rate is going to be 10. Like the hourly rate is going to be amazing. But the thing is, with them, you don't get the benefits or whatever. Like you have to kind of pick and choose your trade offs. But yeah, they good. They good.
I don't want to tell them myself, but I guess it's kind of like my age. Temp, like attempt to hire, like
yeah, oh, for real.
You know, yeah, you working not was working, but you're working for an agency.
Yep, you work for the agency.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Like if one contract ends, they'll place you with another one.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So like kind of like that. Okay, gotcha.
Yep. Any other questions? Thank you, Kira. Now let's get into this LinkedIn. Now this is a highlight of the night because I know a lot of people either are still building out their profiles or they are don't really be using it like that. And if you are the latter, don't really use it like that. Don't play. Don't even play. So this is LinkedIn. Like I said, all my stuff is black. All my stuff shows black because I think it's cool like that. Now a little background about LinkedIn for those that do not know, it's essentially a social network for professionals. That's it. That's all. This gives you access and visibility to hiring managers, company, build your network, what people used to work with, etc., etc. But it's science behind that LinkedIn in order to get your profile optimized, in order to get your profile optimized.